chaos and conversation, where coffee is our warmth, our comfort. Chaos happens in everyone's life, and we must have a conversation about it in order to heal. Welcome, Dr. Sheila Goodwin.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, my name is Sheila, Dr. Sheila Renee Goodwin. I'm from Brooklyn. I've been gone for a long time, but I came back about 5 years ago. I actually wear a lot of hats. I have a tax office. I'm a director in a daycare. I have a nonprofit. I have a tax office, and I am about to join the board at Mega Everest College, the education board. So I'm really busy a lot of the time, but my heart is in mission work. I really love doing mission work.
And what sparked that mission work?
Just being a kid, growing up here in Brooklyn, growing up in the system, having parents that were addicted to drugs, and
a system. What do you mean system?
In the foster care system. I grew up in the foster care system, but I was in what they call kinship care, which means that one of your family members take care of you, but you're still under the foster care system. And that was really hard for me. Out of most things was to get over that part. Because when you're a kid and growing up in the city, and we used to have to go out with the people who would, like the foster care people, the counselor. And I used to be so embarrassed, because people used to be looking at us, and I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, they know this not my mother. As a kid, you just think that everybody's looking because you're not with your mother, you're with these foster care people, and I'm not talking about the family, I'm talking about the lady who's in charge of worker, who's in charge of
the caseworker.
Yeah, we used to have to go out with her and stuff, and I used to be so embarrassed about that. So embarrassed.
Wow.
But a lot of people poured into me. That's why I think mission work is, because I was doing some of everything when I was growing up. I'm not gonna hold you. But people poured into me. People was like, yo, I see something different in you. And I used to be like, whatever, I don't know what you see. And I go on to the next one, they be like, I see something in you. It was like, it was people, and not family. It was people that wouldn't let me fail, no matter what. They was like, nah, we see something different in you.
Yeah.
And when you growing up and you come in from out of the system of foster care and parents that's on drugs and stuff, a lot of times you don't care. And my biggest thing was I was going to show everybody. I didn't get better in life until I didn't care if I didn't show everybody. I wanted to show myself.
And when did that come? Later on in life, or?
That came later on in life.
Okay.
I come across people now that I knew when I was younger, and they be like, you was so mean when you was little. And I'd be like, for real, I don't even remember that. I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember. But they be like Lainey. I don't know if you remember the girl Lainey that lived on Fenimore. She told me one day, she was like, you was so mean.
Oh my God.
When we were younger, she said, but you taught me how to stand up for myself.
Wow.
I was like, I did? She said, you used to see me outside late and you used to be like, don't let nobody do this to you and don't let nobody. I don't even remember that.
Wow.
But she told me last year, and it made me feel good.
Okay.
But in a way, I was like, I was mean like that. But let me tell you when I learned how mean I was. When my oldest daughter did it to me. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't like that. And I was like, and she said to me, where do you think I got it from? And I was like, am I like that?
A check. A self-check.
My daughter, because I was like, ew, that's nasty what you did. She said, where do you think I learned it from? I was like, you did not learn that from me. She was like, yes, I did. And that's when I started looking at it like a different way, from the outside. You know how when you get grown, you be like, in my mouth, I can say what I want to say, and I want to say it because I'm grown now. It wasn't until she said, she got that from me, and I was like, oh, that was not nice. That was nice. She learned that from me?
Right.
And I started to try to think. Now, so I still get there. But I'm learning to think before I speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard.
Yeah, but that's a maturity level that.
Not just for maturing. I had to go to psychiatric, like I have went to psychiatric help and stuff like that. And a lot of our black people don't go get the help that we need because we look at it as though, you crazy, you going to the psychiatrist. But sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
You don't need no medication, you don't need none of that. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
Somebody to listen
don't
to.
Know you. Don't know you from nowhere.
Yes.
So they don't know where you come from, where you going, don't know nothing. They ain't judging you on
somebody
nothing.
That's not biased.
Exactly. And I had to go through all of that stuff. I had to go through all of that stuff because I learned that you have to do the work sometimes for your own self.
You do.
You know? You have to do the work. And
it's hard to look in the mirror sometimes.
Oh, man.
I didn't make that right.
I'm telling you, when she told me that, I was like, you ain't learned that from me. You a lie. And she was like, no, I got that from you. But when I tell people you could say whatever you want to say, but when you lay down at night and your head hit that pillow and it's just you and God,
amen.
You know what's the truth and what's not the truth.
You do.
I don't care what you believe. You know the truth. Girl, you got to come to Jesus with yourself.
Absolutely. And I got a daughter that reminds me, clean your house.
And we need that. Sometimes I'll be laying in the bed and I'll be like, it'd be like, I don't know if it's God or whatever, and I'll be like, girl, you know you shouldn't have said that to them today. That was dead wrong. You need to apologize for that.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
but
sometimes
that's
it's
self-awareness.
Your spirit when everything get quiet and still.
But that's also self-awareness. Like, you know, like, all right, I know that's not me.
That's not, and that's wrong.
Right. So take us back. What was your turning point?
My turning point was my grandson. And, like, and it's so crazy because when my daughter got pregnant, I was so mad and so hurt. When I tell you I was so mad and so hurt because I was a teen mom. And I knew what I went through.
And you wanted better.
And I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through.
But look how tough you are.
And I didn't have all the support that my kids had when they were, you know. And I tell them that all the time. Like, y'all are blessed that you have parents like us. That been through it, and we know, we can tell you. Absolutely. Because when we was growing up, it was just don't do it. It wasn't why don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You could get this, you could get that. It was you better not do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no explanation behind it. They didn't explain to us why you shouldn't do it. It was just
and you better not do it.
That's
you
right.
better not ask.
Else you what you want to know for? Because you want to do it. You know, it was that. So it was like with my kids, I was like, I gotta change something. I gotta be different. I gotta try to change it. When I was younger, I didn't really have a voice as a kid. And kids gotta have a voice.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't have, you know, most of us didn't have a voice in our generations. It was what your parents said. When I went to a training the other day and we were talking about what your mother said when you was younger when you cried. And everybody had all of these things, the older people. Shut up, you want me to give you something to cry for? So everybody in the room was saying these things that we was taught when we was younger.
Absolutely.
That they say we shouldn't say to kids now. You know, like, shut up if I give you something to cry
abuse.
for.
It's called abuse now.
Yeah.
But when we was growing up,
it wasn't abuse.
It wasn't abuse.
It was how they raised us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But honestly, me, I ain't gonna say the abuse was good, but the tough was good.
Absolutely.
The tough was really good. The tough is what made us who we are.
Absolutely, I agree. What's a moment in your life that changed everything for you? Everything. And I say everything like everything.
When my mother died. When my mother passed away.
Talk about it.
It was like, you know, even though we were living in the house and, you know, we had stuff and whatever, and my mother was on drugs in her time and all of that, it's nothing like your mother.
Nothing.
And when you were a kid, you don't care that your mother on drugs.
No.
You don't even understand drugs.
No.
You don't You don't understand. You don't
love your mother unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
You can be on drugs. It's okay. You still my mom.
I didn't know. They, back in the day, they sent us to the store. I go get the old English for and bring it back. You ain't know you were doing nothing wrong. She like old English. So I go to the corner store. They give you the old English and take it back. I didn't. It's like when that left, it was like, even when I wasn't with her, I knew she was still out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when she was gone, it was like, whoa.
I don't have no responsibility to go to that store and get nothing.
Yeah, and I was like, that was, even though I wasn't with her all the time, that was still my mother. That was still my safety. I remember sometimes that mama would be like, yo, dummy, you want to go with her? She drunk. I don't know as a kid she drunk. I know I want to hang out with her.
She fun.
I want, exactly. It's fun. And growing up in that time, I look back at a lot of those things, and it was crazy. I remember I used to get in trouble because she wouldn't take us back home when she was supposed to. We was kids. My mother. That wasn't our fault.
She wouldn't take you back to.
Like, we would get picked up from mama's house.
Whose mom?
My grandmother's house. And we were supposed to be back by like 8 o'clock because you got school. First of all, you knew not to give us to her anyway, because she was young and drunk and everything. So why would you tell her, a drug addict, a drunk, have them back by 9 o'clock? They got school tomorrow. Girl, me and my sister, we'd be like, we gotta get back home. Shut up, I'm your mother. You don't tell me. And me and my sister used to be like, we in trouble when we get back home. We used to be so scared because we like, why we gonna get in trouble for what this grown lady do?
But you didn't think about that when you was young.
No, but
we think about it now that you old.
That we gonna get in trouble. And she used to say she didn't care, but she our mother. She not your mother, but we live with her because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So we live with her. That's why a lot of times I thank God that we had family to go to. But on the other hand, my mother had no incentive to get herself together. If you know that you can go to your family house and get your kids whenever you want to pick them up, why pause and get yourself together? I think if we, which I like that we was with family, but I think if we was with somebody else, she would have tried harder.
How does that make you feel now when you sit and think about it? Like, my family took us, and there's no, background. Like, you knew she wasn't gonna get herself together if you took us. How do you feel about that? Like, you happy on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like you took us and knowing that my mom wouldn't get herself together.
And that's the crazy part about it. And I talked to a lot of the people. Joan, I don't know if you remember Joan back in the days, but she's been in when it was BCW, then ACS, and now she does policies she writes policies for foster care. She's in like the Albany part of it. And I talked to her a lot because I was one of them kids, so she asks me a lot of stuff like about the system back in that day versus now. And sometimes I believe you have to take them away from the parent. Because I know the way my mother felt about us, if she was not able to see us, she would have tried to get herself together. She would have tried to get herself together.
That's important.
If she knew that they not going to let us see her if she don't do the right thing. She would have tried. But she knew she had mama. She not about to tell me I can't get my kids. I'm going to go over there and get them whenever I want to. And then by the time she did get her life together, it was too late. She was already sick. She got AIDS because she was doing drugs. She was on heroin. My father was on heroin. I remember days when my brother was little, and you know the keyholes that the old houses used to have, the master key.
Yeah, you could look right
like
through.
They called skeleton key.
Correct.
I
I used to watch through the hole and watch them in there doing their drugs and stuff, wrapping the cord around their arms, sticking the needle. I used to be watching. Because there was a bunch of them in the room, and they would be doing it to each other and sharing it and stuff. Some of the people in the room was family members outside of my mother, and some was like they friends off the street or whatever. But they would all be in there, close the door, and they would be zoned out, like after they get it, like really what you see on TV, like zoned out.
Oh man!
And then in that same house, that's when we went into the system with my brother, because they left us home for 3 weeks by ourselves.
Oh my God!
And I was the oldest. My brother was only like 7 months old, something like. He was a baby, and I was 9 or 10 years older than him, so I was like 9 to 10 years old. And they left. Well, my mother left first, and then father got mad after about a week of her not coming back. He left too. So then I became the parent.
Oh my God!
In the house, and I remember nobody really knew we was in there until the food ran out. After about 2 weeks, we started I started opening up canned stuff. Because we didn't have nothing else. So then I started opening up vegetables and stuff. Now I'm feeding a baby vegetables, water, everything. Because ain't no formula. I ain't got no money. I can't wait. I'm going to get formula.
God. So 7-month-old is just...
He took his bottle and threw it through the window and broke the whole kitchen window out. The whole glass broke. It wasn't no phones back then. I didn't know who to call, or I didn't have nobody to call. So I stuck a blanket in the window, and it was cold outside. I stuck a blanket in the window. And that's how the neighbors knew. They called BCW. That's how they realized we was in the house together. And they was knocking for a long time. And I wouldn't, because you know when you were a kid, they tell you better not open that door. Better not open that door for nobody. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't open the door for them. They kicked the door in and got us out of there.
Wow.
And took us to mama.
That's some experience, man. Wow, that's
so that's why I always look out for, like, the kids. Grown people I don't too much rock with because they got a lot of issues. But kids, because I was a kid at one time. You know what I'm saying? And in different stages of my childhood, different things was going on with me. Mm-hmm. So I know kids go through, and it shapes you who you are
yep,
as an adult.
So I'm going to ask you this. What do you believe that most people disagree with, but you believe it?
What you mean?
So, for instance, it could be religion.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, the stars, you wish on the stars, whatever. What do you agree with that most people say, I don't agree with that?
That most people wouldn't agree with?
Mm-hmm. You've been through a lot, so.
Yeah. I don't even know how to answer that question.
Okay.
What?
I mean, it could be, I believe in God. Maybe everybody don't believe in God.
I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus. And I believe that everybody has their own relationship with God. Mm-hmm. I'm not a firm believer that you have to be in church every week to have a relationship with God. I grew up being taught that you had to be in church every Sunday. Mm-hmm. Go to Bible study, but growing up, I seen a lot of bad things come out of church too.
Okay. All right.
And that made me, I'm not gonna lie, when I was an adult, it took me from probably like 16 to about 25 to go back to church. Because I didn't have no faith in church. Because I seen church people do all kinds of stuff that made me not have faith in people that went to church. So I didn't go back to church for a long time. But then as I started getting older, I started remembering things that I learned in Sunday school and stuff like that. So I felt it was important that my kids needed to go to church, or at least Sunday school, to learn. Because I remember, I don't remember a lot of stuff I learned in church, but I remember a lot of stuff I learned in Sunday school as I got older.
Because remember, we had to go to church. There wasn't no playing around.
And I felt like that was so important. Because, we was going to church. Remember, we couldn't wear pants. We had to wear the headpiece on our head and all of that stuff. But growing up, I seen a lot of church people do a lot of foul stuff. And so I used to, once I got to a certain age, I was like, if that's how church people be, I don't want no parts of that. It took me a long time to go back to church. I mean, and it was more so because I had my kids and I wanted my kids to at least learn about God. I ain't saying you gotta go to church every Sunday and be in the Bible and the choir and all of that, but you need to learn about God because
Amen. I believe
one thing I learned that prayer, you need that.
Absolutely.
If nothing else, I'm a pray.
Okay, so with that being said, what's a lesson you learned the hard way? Like, you knew something that somebody told you to do, not to do, and you did it anyway. Or somebody told you to do it and you didn't do it.
That was men.
Okay.
That was men I learned the hard way. Like, especially my daughter's father, my first daughter, grew me up. When I tell you grew me up was a dog. It was about 3 of us pregnant at the same time, and I didn't know none of that. Grew me up.
Fast.
When I tell you grew me up fast, because after that, they couldn't say a word. What? The wind blow, nigga. I don't like you no more.
You turn cold.
But it taught me because I was trusted. Because I came from a system and a family that I felt like didn't want me. So any dude that came through that was nice, I probably was gonna go with him anyway. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a father and you don't have that's why because I have 3 daughters and I've always from the day they was born, you pretty, you smart. You this and that because I don't want no dude to come and tell you. If he come and tell you pretty, you need to tell him I already know because my mother told me. When I was growing up, I was looking for something. When you come from all that chaos, you looking for something. When I tell you looking for something, sometimes you find the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
But it be wrapped up like it's good for you.
Absolutely.
And that's when church come in because you remember the things you learned in church where the devil come in all kind of things. And then you be like, oh yeah, I learned about this before. I know you. You know what I'm saying? It makes you look at people
different.
A different way.
You do a little more dissecting.
And now, at 53, he ain't got to do nothing but breathe wrong. I'll be like, bye. They be like, wait, what did I do? I'm like, I just feel like I don't have that time or energy to pour into nobody like that no more.
Okay. All right. So these questions are going to be a little more rapid, okay?
Okay.
Morning or night person?
I'm a night person.
One book everybody should read.
The Art of the Deal.
Okay. You rather success or happiness?
Happiness.
I don't even know why I asked that. If you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
My brother, Tinky.
Oh, that hit different. Why?
I miss him. My brother was my brother. He was like my kid. That was that kid that broke that window. I pretty much, when we came to Mama, he used to call me Mommy. Because I took care of him more, and he was only a baby, and I was 9, but he took care of
Mama
me.
Used to be mad.
She used to be mad because but I was the only mom he knew. And all through his life, that was like, my brother. I just always knew I had to take care of him.
I told y'all we was going to need some napkins.
So when he passed away, it was like, that just threw me.
You want to talk about it a little bit? Or because I don't want to impede if you don't want me to.
I mean, nah, it's cool.
Okay.
I get sad, but you know what? It's more because I miss him than anything, because I believe that certain things happen at certain times in life.
When you need it.
Like, I was sad when my mother passed away, but I know if my brother would have passed away before my mother, she would not have been able to take it. So God, it's in its own time.
So I'm going to tell you something. I watched something, and it was by KRS-One. And he said that when somebody dies spontaneously, it's to save you because they on the other side. And they see something that you ain't seeing. So when God snatched somebody from you, It's to help you. And I couldn't get that out my head because, I lost my mom at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, that's what I believe in. I really believe in it. Like, they make it strong. They make you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
They that doctor there for you.
And I think about, it's so crazy because I think about my brother all the time because...
So you want to tell
I
us
was blessed
what happened
with-
to your brother?
Well, my brother was killed in Atlanta in 2013. In 2013, I had just left him, probably about 30 minutes. We lived about 15 minutes from each other. And I told him I was about to go to the house and drop something off, and I'd be right back. We crossed each other because our other cousin lived in the same complex I lived in. And he had just dropped him home. So we crossed each other in the gate, and my cousin said, I'll be over there in a minute too. So I left out, got there like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. When I got there, I seen all these fire trucks and stuff, and I'm like, well, what happened that fast? We in Georgia, in Atlanta. So I'm like, what happened that fast? I'm still not thinking it's him. Because I can see his patio door open, light on or whatever. And I just talked to him 10 minutes ago. I told him I'm on my way as soon as I leave out the house. So I see like people on the stairs crying or whatever. I still walk upstairs. I walked up and I walked in his apartment. When I walked in his apartment, when I looked up, I seen police and fire people everywhere. So
Inside the apartment?
inside his apartment. So I backed out. Police. I'm like, let me go sit in the car because don't tell them what this dude done did. So as I'm walking down the stairs, I hear one of the ladies say, the boy upstairs got shot. So I'm like, the boy upstairs? So I'm with dude I'm been with, Salam. So Salam starts asking questions like, the dude where? They like, oh, the boy that live upstairs. So then I'm trying to go back upstairs because I'm like, yo, when I walked in the apartment, I said, yo, why you got the door open? You don't see all these police? And when I came around the thing, I seen his feet.
Oh my God.
Hanging out of like, the rest of his body was in the kitchen. Just his feet was hanging out the living room. I'm still thinking they got him. He down on the floor. But as I'm going out the backing out the apartment, I'm like, nah. Because if they got him, I would have heard him. He couldn't be wilding in there. So I knew something else was wrong. So by then, they peeped that I must have knew him, and they wouldn't let me come back in. So I'm like, yo, I got to go check on my brother. I'm telling the cop. He's like, no, you can't come back in. Let me talk to you. I'm like, talk to me for what? I need to go see my brother. He see all this going on out here. He know I was on my way. He going to be worried. The cop like, nah, so he done already told Salam, like, yo, she need to stay down here. So he was like, well, where do your brother live? So I told him he in an apartment upstairs. He was like, he asked me his name. So when I told him his name, he opened up his hand. He had my brother's license in his hand. So I'm like, nah. He's like, yo, this is the boy on the floor upstairs. I said, it's no way possible. I just talked to him. Go back and check. He had, when he was young, he had blew up a MAD playing with fireworks in his chest, so he had a burn on his chest. Every mark I could think he had on him, I kept sending them upstairs. I'm like, go see, go see, go see. The last time the cop came, he was like, we're not going back upstairs. He was like, this is him on the floor. I just hit the floor. So I got up. I was like, nah. I told the man, I said, I'm going to get my cousin, talking about Mikey. I'm going to get my cousin because y'all tripping. I got in the car and I called Mama. Mama said, call me in the morning. Like, she didn't even believe it. She said, call me in the morning after you talk to the people. Like, she didn't believe it
Really
had happened either. So I went back over there. By then, they had called Mikey. Salam had called Mikey. So when I got back to my house, everybody was outside. They was over there. So Mikey get in the car. I get in the car with Mikey. And I'm talking to him. I'm trying to tell him what's going on. And he done let go of the car. Girl, we done hit the dumpster in the apartment complex. Because he let go. We and him both in there crying. He holding me. I'm holding him. The car just rolling. Car hit the dumpster. Bam. Everybody in the family come running behind us. And he was like, I'm gonna go back over there. I said, I'm not going back over there tonight. So by the time I went back the next day, I could see my brother's blood. Like I don't know how you brought him out in a body bag and the body bag was leaking because the body bag don't leak. But it was blood all the way from his door all the way down to where they put him into the ambulance. And like everything in his house that they could take was gone. Like even his bank, you could tell where somebody had done ripped in and took out what they wanted. And it ended up being 2 girls in there. And both.
Did y'all ever get to the bottom of it? Of what happened?
The bottom of it got real bad. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay. All right. You ain't gotta say no more.
Bottom of it got real bad.
All right. You ain't gotta say no more.
But that changed
Your life.
That knocked me down. When I tell you I had insomnia for about 2 years, I didn't sleep for real. That knocked me down.
Okay, so how did you handle like that setback? Because that had to be a major setback for you. How did you handle that?
By the time my brother passed away, I had learned to be, I'm good at blocking. I've been doing it since I was little. So I'm good at blocking. And when
you
I
say
came,
blocking, what do you mean?
like, I can turn my brain all the way off when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay.
I've done it for so long, since I was little, that I'm a pro at it. So when I came back, I threw myself into everything. Work, everything. Like, so bad where I started to forget about him. That's how...
Because you wanted to program your mind like
exactly,
that.
because that's how hard it was for me to think about him. That it was easier for me to forget about him.
Because you had to do 10 million jobs in
Exactly.
order to let that go.
It was easier for me to forget about him than to think about what happened to him and that he wasn't here no more. But then it's like, God will do it for you. Because I have 4 grandsons, and every one of my grandsons got something in him. Some of them look like him. Some of them act like him.
Remember I told you that KRS-One story?
When I tell you, all 4 of my grandsons got something of his. Either they look like him, they act like him, they got mannerisms like him. Even my granddaughter, she joked like him all the time. Her mother always tell her, like, I see my uncle, like all that joking, laughing and everything. It's like God took him, but he gave me 4 grandsons. All of them is a little bit of him. So a lot of times when I look at them, I just shake my head, or I'll say to them sometimes, yo, you look just like your uncle. You know, because they
you and him
really
was close, because y'all grew up together.
And to lose him was like, it's just a piece of you that's gone, that you ain't gonna never get back. Like, but God has put good people in my life, like my brother's best friends. They like my brothers now. My brother had 2 best friends that are like my brothers. Them ride or die, they are there for anything, everything. My kids' graduations, my grandkids' graduations.
Nice.
They stepped in for my brother.
I tell you that KRS-One story is real.
It is, because I'm telling you, these dudes stepped in, and I mean, they had their times because of my brother dying too. Like one of them, he just went all the way to the left. But they always stayed down with me. Always stayed down with me. And my kids that's their uncles. They be like, uncles such and such, and they tell them stories about my brother. I love that part of it. Like, God moved him out the way, but he put good people in place.
In that place, okay.
Yeah.
So if you could give your younger self advice, what would it be?
Don't take life so serious. Don't take life so serious. Because I had to from little. I was a parent at 7, 8 years old. So I feel a lot of times like I missed out on a lot of my childhood. So I tell people all the time, even my kids, have fun. I tell my grandkids, have fun. Don't settle down with no girls. Have fun. Enjoy life, because life, you could blink and it'd be different. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be death. It could be something else. But you can blink. You can have all these plans for your life.
God plans out your life, girl.
And
you know my story.
You can have all these plans, and guess what? None of that happened.
Mm-mm.
When I was young, I was going to be a doctor. I was going to be doing this. I was going to have this. I was going to do this. And I was pregnant at 17.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that changed me. Then when my brother passed away, that changed me. Then my mother passed away, that changed me. It's like all these things in life
That you
got
have
me
planned
to
out.
where I am today.
Mm. So what's next for you? I heard you talk about Mega Evans.
Mega Evans. Actually, I was supposed to be speaking at the UN in Zambia again. I was invited again this year, but I'm scared. We have war right now. I'm not getting on nobody's planes going overseas for 15 hours. So I said, that ain't going to happen right now. So I kind of canceled on them for April in Zambia. But I'll be going to, I'll be speaking in Cape Town and Johannesburg in July for the Women's Summit that they're having over there. Actually, when I went to Nigeria, to Lagos last year, I was gifted by a king 5 acres of land. So we're going to be working on opening a school over there.
Nice.
In Lagos.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling you, all the way from Brooklyn, a foster kid. And a king. Like, I met so many kings and princes when I was over there doing at the summits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the kings really took to me, and they gave me a chief title. So when I go, they treat me like royalty over there in Africa now, since I have a chief title. But like I said, I was gifted 5 acres of land, which I'm gonna have a school built on, and we're gonna do some agriculture, so we can plant some, have some food, some sustainable. And I'm working on right now a solar powered contract for Abia states, a couple of the states in Nigeria, because where they gifted me the land, one of the hospitals, they can only work in the daytime because they don't have power.
Mm.
So if they get this solar power,
They could do it at night.
they got sun all day,
Yeah.
over there, and it's really nobody over there teaching them about solar power and sustainable energy. And it's cheap. Once they get the solars up there, it's a little bit, you just got to change out the battery. So we've done like one building, and now we're moving on to the next building, the hospital there.
Nice.
And like I said, hopefully within a year, my school will be built over there, which is going to be more technology based.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of places over there, they don't have the internet, so they don't get to see.
Yeah.
Their kids over there don't get to see. They can't compete if they don't have the technology that we have in America and all the other countries. So I really, really want to be a part of that, because when I was growing up, it was always, what I seen in books was that Africa was in the jungle.
Yeah. It's what they show you on TV.
Man, I stepped off the plane in Johannesburg, they had on Amiris, they had on Gucci. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Cape Town, let me tell you, our brothers is doing it.
Okay.
You got doctors, they specialize in everything. They just want us to believe that our African brothers are not doing nothing over there, but they are getting it. When I say getting it, they are getting it. And I try to go at least twice a year to Africa. Hopefully once the school gets built, I can go a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is the kids in any way I can help. Because like I said, it took, like they say, it takes a village.
It takes a village.
It took people, good people pouring into me to be who I am today. It wasn't, I can't say, oh, I did it. It was people that didn't really know me from nowhere. No blood, no nothing.
Earlier, wasn't family.
Yeah, but they poured into me. That's why I try to help anybody I can help.
Okay, so where can people find you and support your work?
Well, okay. I'm probably gonna have to look at my phone because I don't know half of my social medias.
Your grandkids can do that.
Yes, my grandson, he's very technical. Can you slide that phone over here so your grandmother can see? That these days we don't know phone numbers or nothing no more. We don't know anything. But I will give y'all my Instagram. My email is Sheila R. Goodwin Goodwin@yahoo.com. That's Sheilar Goodwin GOODWIN or Sheila Renee Goodwin @gmail.com. My Instagram is Brooklyn. Let's see here. It's Brooklyn for Life and then an underscore at the end. So that would be Brooklyn and then the number 4 Life and then an underscore.
Okay. So we wrapping it up now, but what is one thing that you would like the listeners to take away from this conversation?
My biggest thing is keep going. Don't worry about what the world say, what your family say, what anybody say. Keep going. What I've learned, and you know how you always want to tell everybody what you're doing and tell everybody what you're doing? I've learned in this time, sometimes you got to keep it to yourself.
Absolutely.
It's just a secret until it happens.
Absolutely.
Because everybody don't want to see you win. You know, so like I used to be so happy, like, hey, I'm doing this now. They be like, okay. I'm doing, like, why you not as excited as I am about what I'm doing? They be like, okay, well, you think that's going to work? Well, if it don't, then I'll try something else. So I've and that's kind of rough sometimes, because, you know, sometimes you want to share what you're doing with people. But I've learned in life, the only people I really share stuff with is my kids and my grandkids, and I don't even share with all my kids, because some of them don't want to, they you know, this generation, they be on their own time.
Okay, so any final thoughts or messages for our listeners?
The biggest thing I can say is it doesn't matter where you start out, it's where you finish. I started out as a foster kid growing up in Brooklyn with drug addicted parents. Didn't know my father's family no more. And look at me now, 53 years old.
And a
I'm
doctor. Okay.
Dr. Sheila Renee Goodwin. I have my own nonprofit. I have my own tax office. And I still work, don't I? Every day. And I go overseas and I try to help. But don't stop. And don't ever let nobody tell you what, because I was told for a long time I wasn't going to be nothing. I was going to be a drug addict like my parents. I was going to be this. I was going to be that. And I used to be like, I'm going to show them. It wasn't until I said, I'm going to show myself that I started winning. When I was trying to show everybody, it's still that vindictive spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to show people. I'm going to show you I'm a doctor. It wasn't until I was like, you know what? I don't even care what y'all think no more. I'm going to show me.
Yeah.
That's when everything changed. Everything, stuff started falling in place and everything. That's when I knew I was in the right space. While I was still trying to show everybody and prove everybody, it wasn't working out. It's like God was like, no, you don't need to prove to nobody but you.
Absolutely. And me.
Exactly. And you know, we come through this.
Yeah.
And I used to think Mama was the worst, but I thank God every day for that lady, because
Irene Brooks.
I wouldn't know how to survive.
Yes.
If it wasn't for her. She was, you know, she wasn't with no baby stuff. I'm gonna pet you. Oh, it's gonna be all right, Mom. Get up. What's wrong with you? How we gonna fix it? And I grew up with that tough love. Sometimes it's the best love.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming through. This is my cousin. We lived in the same house.
Took baths together and everything. Got beat together and everything. You know I love you to death.
But thank you for coming to Coffee, Chaos, and Conversation, because conversation was definitely healing.
Oh yeah. I told you, it takes conversation. Sometimes it takes therapy.
Yeah.
That's a conversation.
Absolutely.
Psychology, you ain't got to go to psychiatrist, you can go to psychology. And the psychologist just talk to you.
Absolutely.
You need that sometimes. That's what you got. Chaos and conversation. Cause I had a whole lot of chaos. I ain't gonna lie. I had a whole lot of chaos, but it turned out okay.
All right. Thank you for coming.